everybody, welcome to Formula 1 2012, it's Skyline Games, and today we are going to be doing the Young Driver Test. I have no idea what this is completely new to me. I've already created my profile, so let's jump in and begin our test.
Hello and welcome to the fabulous Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi, the location for this year's Young Driver Test. Over the next 2 days, we'll go behind the scenes as we watch the teams put the next generation of potential Formula 1 drivers through a series of tests to uncover the next superstar. Ask any of the team principals whether outright speed is the sole requirement, and they'll tell you that consistency, feedback and attitude are equally important. Still, a few record times wouldn't hurt a driver's chances of securing a seat for next season. And right on cue, the first engine of the day has fired into life right below my commentary box. So I think we'll soon see a car out on track.
Hey, good to see you again. As your race engineer, it's my job to support you this weekend. When you're out on track, we'll remain in contact via radio. I'll feed you information as and when you need it. As discussed in the team briefing, we're not looking for outright speed to begin with, so just take your time. Follow my instructions and you'll do great. I'll just check the lads are ready. We'll attach comms when you're in the car. Okay? Let's get you strapped in.
Alright, we are strapped into our car, we are ready to go. So we will begin our Young Driver's Test. Let's go ahead and select that. You see we got our straight line test to begin, so let's go. Go.
Okay, before we start, I want to let you know that you can change the camera position by pressing the Change Camera button. Try cycling through them until you find the one you like. If you want to change your camera or assists, you can do it from the pause menu whenever you want. The first test is a simple straight line aero test. Head down the track accelerating past 160 miles per hour, then brake so that you come to a complete stop in the designated area. The engine is locked to lean, so it's down a little on power at the moment, but it'll give us a consistent reading. We got some good data, and you're on the brakes at just the right time.
Alright, we passed our first test, and that was a straight line test. Let's get into our next one. Let's head back to the garage. Alright, we are back in the garage. We just completed our straight line test. So let's see what we have next. That would be our Racing 101 video. Driver objective. Watch the Racing 101 video to learn about the 3 key elements of racecraft: car performance, throttle, brake application, and racing line and apex. So we will go ahead and watch that. Sit back and relax and enjoy as we watch the Racing 101 video.
Modern Formula 1 cars have around 750 brake horsepower being sent to the rear wheels. The delivery can be very violent, so you must be careful to be smooth and precise with all your inputs so that you don't unsettle the car and cause a spin. At speed, the car's aerodynamics generate a lot of downforce, forcing the car to the track. To work efficiently with downforce, you should put a lot of force into the brake pedal initially, slowly reducing the pressure as they turn in for the corner, as you'll have less grip at this stage and be asking the tyres to work harder. When navigating a corner, stay as wide as possible before sweeping in to clip the corner's apex, taking as straight a line as possible. This allows you to get on the accelerator earlier and straighten up the car on the exit of the corner, slowly increasing the pressure on the accelerator as you exit the corner until you're confident the rear wheels will no longer spin, at which point you can use full power.
Alright, we passed that. That's a no-brainer. Let's go back to the garage and see what we got next. Hairpin turn test. Test your knowledge of apexes by hitting a series of markers and stop within the designated area. Let's go.
For this test, we need you to accelerate towards the hairpin corner, turn in at the correct point, hit the apex, and accelerate past 185 miles per hour out of the corner. We need you to stop in the designated area at the end of the straight to complete the test. Looks like a tyre blowout. Press the replay button to rewind time. Hit the flashback button to restart the action before the damage occurs. You have a limited number of flashbacks depending on your difficulty, so be careful how and when you use them.
Alright, you see that we've punctured a tire. We are in the replay mode, so we will go ahead and press our flashback and try that again.
We got some good data. Your line and corner speeds are good.
That's another pass, a hairpin turn. See, we only got 4 of these 6 markers. We missed the apex and the hairpin, but that's okay. We still passed it. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next one. Alright, we got our baseline performance test to worry about next. Check your car's balance performance by driving a series of corners against the clock. Alright, so we're going to be racing against the clock. I like this. This is a very challenging young driver's test that we got to go to. Let's get to it. Enjoy.
Time to try stringing together a couple of corners. Turn in so you hit the corner's apex and get on the gas early as you exit. It'll be against the clock this time, so we've turned the engine up to normal. We need you to stop in the designated area at the end of the straight to complete the test. Nice one. We got some good data. Your line and corner speeds are good.
Alright, that's another pass. We got a silver medal on that. We beat the time, 34.163. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next one in this day 1 of the Young Drivers Test. Alright, we're back. Let's take a look. KERS and DRS video. Watch the KERS and DRS video to gain infinite knowledge of KERS and the DRS system. Once again, let's go.
KERS delivers an additional 80 brake horsepower to the rear wheels at the press of a button. It can be used in short bursts or all at once for around 7 seconds per lap. KERS can be used at any time in any session and can be used for overtaking or defending. Deploying KERS in the low gears gives the best return and can pay off greatly when used at the start. The KERS charge will automatically refill every lap, but the KERS system can at times develop faults. However, these can be fixed while the driver is still out on track. DRS adjusts the angle of the rear wing, which reduces drag and gives around 10 to 12 kilometers per hour extra top speed. It can only be used in defined activation points during the race when you're within 1 second of the car in front. It can be used whenever the driver wants in practice or qualifying, but only when dry tyres are fitted.
And that's the end of day one of the Young Drivers Test here at Abu Dhabi. Join us tomorrow for day two.
Alright, day one of the Young Drivers Test in the books. We will continue with day two right now.
Good morning. I hope you're feeling refreshed. We've got some more tests for you to run through today. Let me know when you're ready to start today's program and we'll get you out on track.
I couldn't understand a word he just said because the radio system is so bad. Anyway, we got our KERS and DSM system check. Put your knowledge of KERS and DSM into practice as you race another driver in a sprint to the finishing line. Seems like a no-brainer. Let's go ahead and give that a go.
Okay, before we start, I want you to perform a quick systems check for KERS and DRS. Press and hold the KERS button for me, please. Great. Now try activating the DRS. Press it once to open it and a second time to close it. Alternatively, you can press the brake to close it. Okay, you've got a car ahead of you who looks to be practicing their race start. I want you to use both your KERS and DRS to try and overtake them before you cross the finish line up ahead. Whatever you do, don't collide with them. Good luck. KERS and DRS to good effect and we're able to pass the car.
Can you say bye, Felicia? That was easy. It's just straight line test with the KERS and DRS. That's a no-brainer. We're going to go ahead and get back to the garage and take a look at our next test. Alright, we are back to take a look at our next test, a KERS and DRS performance test. Use KERS and DRS to beat your fellow young drivers to the finish line. Let's go ahead and do it.
All set. Okay, you've got 3 cars ahead of you. Use your KERS and DRS to get to the finish line after the chicane, ahead of all of them. Don't make contact with any of them, however. We want clean passes. DRS at the correct times.
I said it once and I'll say it again. Can you say bye, Felicia? That was easier, just a little bit of corner testing with the DRS and KERS system. But we're going to go ahead and get back to the garage and take a look at our next test. Alright, we're back. Let's take a look at our next test. Actually, we got another video, a tire conservation video. So let's take a look at it.
There are 4 tyre types available during a race weekend: primes, options, intermediates and wets. Prime tyres will last the longest but have less overall grip than the option tyres. However, the increased grip from the options means they wear out faster. Intermediates are best used when the track is damp, and wets should only be used in heavy rain. The best drivers don't take too much life out of their tyres. This allows them to have more race strategies open to them, as well as allowing them to run tyres with more grip for longer. The best way to avoid excessive tyre wear is by being smooth with your throttle, brake and steering inputs, and avoiding sliding the car out of corners and causing wheel spin, which will destroy tyre life.
Okay, tire conservation, check. Take a look at our next test. We got a wet weather test. Drive the final sector of the track in wet weather conditions and learn about the difference between wet and dry track conditions. Okay, sounds reasonable. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive in the rain or something. I don't know, but let's take a look at it.
Complete. Ready. Have been doing some wet tyre testing. They've soaked the track, so we thought we'd get you to feel the difference between a wet and a dry track. I want you to drive the last sector of the lap and hit every apex. Braking distances are increased in the wet, and the tyres will break traction sooner, so be careful when you exit corners. You didn't hit all the apexes. Give it another shot.
Alright, so we hit a snag in our test, but that's okay. Still getting used to this. Let's go ahead and give it another go with the wet weather.
Pirelli have been doing some wet tyre testing. They've soaked the track, so we thought we'd get you to feel the difference between a wet and a dry track. I want you to drive the last sector of the lap and hit every apex. Braking distances are increased in the wet, and the tyres will break traction sooner, so be careful when you exit corners. You're off the pace we'd expect. Give it another try.
Damn, this one's gonna be hard. I was off by 1/10 of a second. I got all the apexes, but we didn't complete the lap time. Let's give it another shot.
Pirelli have been doing some wet tyre testing. They've soaked the track, so we thought we'd get you to feel the difference between a wet and a dry track. I want you to drive the last sector of the lap and hit every apex. Braking distances are increased in the wet, and the tyres will break traction sooner, so be careful when you exit corners. hit all the apexes, give it another shot. Pirelli have been doing some wet tyre testing. They've soaked the track, so we thought we'd get you to feel the difference between a wet and a dry track. I want you to drive the last sector of the lap and hit every apex. Braking distances are increased in the wet, and the tyres will break traction sooner, so be careful when you exit corners. Nice one. You've now got some experience of a wet track.
Alright, that took some time and effort. Third time's the charm, I guess. We had to use some of our replay magic to get us past that test, but we did. So to take a look at our, I believe it's our last test of this young driver's evaluation. Alright, we are back into the garage. With our final one, we got our evaluation test. Put all you have learned into practice as you drive a lap around the whole circuit against the clock. Oh boy. I feel like this one's going to be time consuming as well. But let's do it. Final test of the young drivers exam.
All complete. We're ready. Okay, it's been a great couple of days. The final thing we want you to do is experience a race start and perform the first lap. When the lights go out, pull away and drive the lap using all the techniques you've learned so far. We'll be timing you, so give it your all. The engine is dialed up to give maximum power. Enjoy it. Brilliant, that was a great time.
And that's the end of day 2 of the Young Drivers Test. Next time we see you, it'll be on the grid for the start of the new Formula One season. Until then, goodbye.
That was awesome, everybody. The evaluation test, getting to drive the whole circuit here at the Yas Marina, was just a blast. I saw I had a little hiccups there, but in all, it's a great way to get you used to the game. You know, you have to learn your straight lines and your DRS and your curves and your apexes and all that stuff, and you get to drive a wet track, which I thought we were going to be driving in the rain, by the way, but instead Pirelli wet the track. Very, very clever. But that is the end of the Young Drivers test here at Yas Marina. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. We will do another video like this where we'll hit the track for the beginning of the Formula One season. Until then, this is Skyline Gaming. See you next time, everybody.